Spain didn't dig silver. Silver dug Spain. Sounds dramatic, right? But that joke is closer to reality than you might think. In the 1500s, the mountain of Potosi in Bolivia wasn't just rich, it was absurdly, grotesquely rich. Millions of laborers perished in the mines, while Spain celebrated the silver bars pouring into its treasury. Spain thought it had found a divine cheat code for global dominance. Little did they know, it was the beginning of a slow-motion financial tragedy. Spain saw silver as power, as leverage, as proof that God favored them. They didn't need industry, innovation, or capital markets. They had metal, and for a while, it worked. Kings felt invincible, courtiers got lavish, and Europe was dazzled. But when wealth arrives too easily, consequences seem optional. Spain didn't get rich because it was smart. Spain got rich because it found silver. And when you get rich without being smart, you don't stay rich. Here's the twist. Spain didn't dominate because Europe craved its silver. Spain dominated because China craved it. Ming China required silver for taxes, creating a global demand engine. Spanish galleons transported silver across the Pacific to Manila, then to China, a supply chain centuries ahead of its time. Spain was not the genius supplier, it was the courier. And that's where the seed of collapse was planted. Spain thought it controlled silver, but it was actually at the mercy of global demand. Once the silver flowed, Spain did what any empire addicted to sudden wealth would. It spent like there was no tomorrow. Palaces, art, feasts, endless wars, all funded by silver. Domestic production rotted, industries withered, and borrowing became routine. Spain didn't build lasting power. It binged. The more they spent, the more the illusion of wealth grew. Silver was a drug. Spain was hooked. Spain's silver became the first globally standardized asset. Prices rose worldwide, not due to scarcity, but because belief fueled demand. Merchants, bankers, and nations treated silver as infinite. And here's the kicker. Spain thought it controlled the game. But silver, and the expectations it created, controlled Spain. This was the birth of the first global financial bubble, invisible, psychological, and deadly. Inevitably, bankers noticed Spain's addiction. Genoese financiers saw not an empire, but an asset to leverage. Spain mortgaged future silver, borrowed heavily, and defaulted repeatedly. This was the birth of modern sovereign debt. Spain thought it used bankers. Bankers were actually using Spain. Wealth without discipline, borrowed recklessly, is no wealth at all. Silver caused inflation, both in Spain and across the globe. Prices rose faster than output. Domestic goods became uncompetitive. Imports surged. Spain consumed wealth faster than it could produce it. The empire appeared rich on the surface, but its economic foundation was dissolving. Inflation didn't just raise prices. It eroded skills, production, and long-term resilience. The empire was quietly dying from within. While Spain was dazzled by its silver, the world learned to cheat. Coins were clipped, debased, and counterfeited. Other nations used Spanish silver to build real industries, fleets, and financial systems. Spain exported the raw ingredient. Others exported value. Spain believed silver guaranteed power. The rest of the world understood silver was just a tool, and the difference decided the next global powers. Spain borrowed more and more against future silver that didn't exist yet. Debt became the main engine of the empire, not production or innovation. Kings believed credit meant capacity, but in reality, they were hostages to their own speculation. The empire was still standing, but financially and institutionally, it was already collapsing. Every loan, every fleet, every war pushed Spain deeper into an inescapable spiral. Spain's collapse was silent. No dramatic invasions, no sudden sacking. The empire rotted from within. Mines declined, production slowed, and credibility eroded. Meanwhile, nations like the Dutch and English took Spanish silver and built real financial systems. Spain lost not to superior enemies, but to smarter players. Silver that once made Spain godlike had become meaningless in the engine of global capitalism. The final lesson: silver created Spain's glory and its trap. Wealth alone cannot sustain an empire. Without discipline, foresight, and productive systems, abundance becomes addiction, not advantage. Spain dazzled the world, but left behind a warning. Wealth without wisdom is the most expensive debt of all. For centuries, empires would repeat this lesson, and for us today, it remains profoundly relevant. So next time you hear about sudden riches, windfalls, or natural resources, remember Spain. Remember Potosi. Remember that the real power isn't in what you mine, it's in how you manage it. Wealth may sparkle, but only wisdom endures.